So, kind of thinking back on 2025 and reflecting on it, and it was a pretty big transformative year. There were some real tough and personal and mental moments. I didn't hit rock bottom, but I really learned to feel, to be honest, to cry, and to open up. I got to really know myself much, much better. Obviously, the big milestone for me was partnering with 51 to Carbon Zero and closing Green Element and Compare Your Footprint down after 20 plus years of running that business. It's been a real emotional process, but I've managed to do it, I feel, with integrity and with the team that I had around me. They were amazing through it. In May, we said we were going to put the business up for sale, and we asked them not to speak to anyone, and they didn't. They were amazing. We kept them abreast of everything that we were doing. And I don't know, I was so lucky to work with the team that I did. And I'm slowly going around to all of them and writing references for LinkedIn because they're amazing, amazing, amazing lot. And I think everyone came out of it happy. And I'm really, really proud of that. It wasn't just about walking away. It was about doing it right. Obviously, your personal life is a big part of stuff that happens when big things happen and little things. But I realised how much more I love Laura and how deeply I admire her. She's been my total anchor through all of this change. And I have complete gratitude, and what we've built together is amazing. I think with regards to my identity and letting go, I think probably the hardest part is the fact that I'm not the owner anymore. Having the break over Christmas was really useful and really just really useful, to be honest with you, because it allowed me to think about the future. It allowed me to think about who I am, what I'm doing, and where I want to be. And I think I've got some things wrong in the past. I've learned that I'm not the business, but I am still the master of my own path. And this is freeing, but has taken some time to get here. I think I've realised that the happiness I hold and have comes from people. And that's relationships with you, conversations with you, and the community I have around me. The challenges have come not from seeing beyond myself. And I think I've been too tied to my work identity. And I think what's definitely carried me through is smiling, staying positive, and moving forwards. So now, the present, what are we looking at? And I think if I was to put it and summarize it, I think my zone of genius, if you can call it that, is talking. Very good at that. Listening. I'd like to think I'm good at that. Helping you and people around me, and connecting with you and people around me. That's what gives me energy and purpose. So when asked what's missing, I would say historically it's been stability, especially financially. It's very hard to plan for 6 months' time if you don't think you can afford something. And with that learning, I think I'm realizing stability enables freedom and impact. Now, I don't tolerate much nonsense, but what I would say is I don't abide by not doing something. I think it's action. I've never been one for procrastination. And so I think just doing it and getting on with it. So I'd like to work with you. What do we need to do? I'm really happy to really try to change things. And I don't know. So let's work together on that. And let's work towards the future. I was asked what my 3-year vision was, and I think it's really useful at a time like this where you've got this junction. And I think it's success and actually have earned a living by helping others. And if we're going to hone in on that within the sustainability space, enabling people to understand that purpose and action and sustainability should be at the forefront of all business, and knowing that our future generations will look to you, our leaders, because you are what is helping us move forwards. It's your vision, it's your purpose, it's your mark on the world that will enable us to have a better future. Personally, I also want to live by the sea. I live fairly close to the sea now. I'd love to have a house that overlooks the sea. It doesn't need to be a big house, just needs to be a house with a window. I can see the sea, right there. So in 3 years, I'm really hoping not to measure happiness by money, but by impact. And I think, and I believe from what I can see, the impact that I'm going to have with 51 to carbon zero is going to be more. They've got this brilliant mentality of they want us to reduce 51 billion tons of carbon zero to net zero. I mean, it's a great audacious goal, is that what it's called? And it's brilliant though, because I feel like I'm in a team where we are all galvanized to grow the business, but grow in a way that we can have as much impact as possible. And that's exciting. And I'm looking forward to looking at my strengths and working on my strengths rather than having to do a load of other stuff that probably aren't my strengths, like finance and operations and that stuff, which I'm probably all right at, considering, we did grow the business and finally we were profitable in that first 6 months of last year. I guess I say that as a caveat because there's a bit of me that's got that ego that goes, oh, can't believe that we ended up. But actually, it wasn't bad. And I'm proud of what we did. I want a stronger connection with Laura, building on that. And I want more quality time with the kids and my children and have more family adventures. I think that My passion is helping organisations become more sustainable. And I'd like to see that ripple through society and the planet. I love people, connection, and communications. Even as a child, I thrived off that. From that initial talk I did on climate change when I was 15 to the school, I have always enjoyed communicating what is interesting and what is vital in my mind. My strength is being honest, transparent, and communicating with people transparently, bringing people together. I think some of my challenges and lessons from the last year has been that low point where I knew I needed to do something, but then rebuilt it through exercise. I started running more. I started thinking about what I was eating. I definitely didn't drink, which enabled me to have focus. And then, of course, and I think this is so normal and so normal. I do face imposter syndrome, and I occasionally, you can be the judge of that, overcompensate that through overconfidence. But the one thing that I know keeps me grounded and real is honesty, because I think that is what keeps you in the present and with you. I get really frustrated by greed and that short-term thinking. I remember learning about the TQM, Total Quality Management, at university, and learning about the vision that Japanese companies have about not thinking about 5 years' time, 10 years' time, but 40 years' time, 100 years' time, thinking really big picture. And I think our current economic systems reward the wrong behaviours. The stakes are high. Humanity and the ecosystems are at risk. And we need economic structures that support this for doing good. So moving forwards, I want to use my experience and our network and voice to help shift systems. I really want to keep connecting with you and others and drive purposeful change. I'd personally like to keep growing. So please keep me grounded. Let me know what I'm doing wrong or right or could do better. Because honesty, empathy, and optimism is where I see my next chapter. Thanks for watching and listening. Let's move forwards from last year and get on with 2026.